Hello, it is Direct Mail, Monday, August 24th, 2020. Steve Sipress here, coming to you not live for the fifth day in a row. There's something going on here. Got the error message, check your internet connection, but my internet connection is fine and lightning fast according to all the testing sites. Friday, I was talking to people, it was this morning, that were doing Zoom calls and saying, Zoom was down and there was some trouble with Zoom. So I don't know if there's some trouble with the new Facebook Live producer. I can't even do it on my phone here. So here I am again for the fifth day in a row after nearly 3.5 years of doing a live video every day. I've had to record this and then I'll upload it. So I'll make it real quick here on Direct Mail Monday. I did a call today. I do these calls all the time. I got to preface that, not all the time, but once in a while I'll make some space available on my calendar and do some free consultations. I love helping business owners and entrepreneurs, and there's a lot of confusion out there, a lot of uncertainty, and so anything I can do to help, my pleasure. Unfortunately, those times are getting less and less as, thanks to the great shutdown, which ushered in and is still going on the greatest time of opportunity of our lifetime. I am getting busier and busier than ever as the new endeavors that I started a few months ago are absolutely taking off. But I do these calls once in a while. Did one today, and unfortunately, it's a common question. So don't feel bad if you ask the question yourself, but hopefully after you hear the very simple common sense answer, you won't be that guy. I always say, don't be that guy. Don't ask questions that are so silly. But I can relate. When I was brand new to the world of advertising, marketing, and sales, I didn't even understand the basics. And whenever I take on something new, I don't understand the basics. I go over to a friend's house. They're like, let's play a game. I've never played that game before. I have a million dumb questions. I don't understand the basics. Hey, what do you do? Hey, we said it 3 times. Okay, so I understand if you don't get it. But here's a simple test. So, question I get a lot, does direct mail still work? That's only asked, by the way, by people not using direct mail, by definition, because the people who use it. I got a whole bunch of stuff I was going to share here. Political campaigns have ramped up their stuff like crazy. Now this one comes addressed to my beautiful wife, Michelle. Joe Biden, he's weak. These are tough. Times are tough. The man is weak. Joe Biden, with an unflattering photo as we launch into the week-long Trump show. Can't wait to see this one, but it's really not all bad. Everyone knows Trump, well, not everyone knows, but Trump is the modern P.T. Barnum, and so this week's Trump show convention will be, of course, entertaining and kind of crazy, but what's really going to be fun, I don't anticipate watching a lot of it, unlike the Democratic debacle last week, which I attempted to watch, was completely miserably horrible and unwatchable. The Trump one ought to be a lot of fun, but what I'm really going to pay attention to is the response. No one gets more fun responses to anything he does or says than Donald Trump. The deranged pro-Trumpers are going to go see he's the greatest president ever, and gee, that you have to reelect, and the deranged anti-Trumpers go, he's unfit, and he's the worst ever, and he's evil, and we got to get rid of him. And of course, this week-long Trump show convention here is going to make more pronounced those responses. So I can't wait, and it's probably already on as we speak because it's 6 o'clock here on the West Coast. It's probably already going on in prime time on the East Coast. So the Twitter world is probably already abuzz, social media, the pundits on TV already getting deranged on both sides and going crazy. It's going to be a lot of fun all week. But anyway, as for direct mail, so not only do I have a whole bunch of stuff. Every time I show this from time to time, every time this local multi-million-dollar company sends out one of these mailers, it brings in another whole bunches of millions of dollars. They do a great job, and I go over their stuff once in a while with you. I've got a Valpak envelope here. Maybe I could win $100 inside, it says. But regardless of that, these are dozens of local business companies here, businesses that, unless they're idiots and small business owners, hopefully you watching this video, or include yourself in there as an entrepreneur, owning multiple businesses, or just a business owner who all care about is one business. You are, regardless of book smarts or IQ or college degrees or any of that, your street smarts are way ahead of, way beyond even the top, way beyond the average person, and way up there at the top. And so they're not stupid, these dozens of business owners that keep putting the money into the Valpak. When the Great Shutdown first hit, this thing was about half or a third the size, the envelope. A lot of people were pulling back and unsure, especially restaurants that weren't allowed to be open, and lots of small businesses that aren't allowed to be open, even though the bigger companies selling the same stuff are, and all that authoritarian, arbitrary regulation crap going on. But as the shutdown phases, or whatever they call it, restrictions beginning to be eased, businesses are ramping up their advertising and marketing, and of course, they're using direct mail. So next time you ask yourself or anyone else the question, or you even think for some reason, does direct mail still work? See, it's a valid question, because when new things come along, it's human nature to think, well, the old thing must not work anymore, which, of course, is not true. I was going to say doesn't make sense, but it's a common question. So I won't put down the question, because if you do any radio advertising, or know anyone that does, it's making a killing in radio advertising and making tons of money. And there's a reason that top-rated radio shows are charging top dollar for advertising, because businesses are making a ton of money with it. So even though TV came along, it supplanted radio as families, has been decades since families gathered round the radio to listen to the Lone Ranger or whatever. Now it's the TV, but does that mean radio doesn't work? Of course not. And just because people start downloading MP3 players or whatever instead of CDs, do CDs not work? If you have a DVD player or CDs, do they not work? They work. Just because, it's well over a century since cars really kind of supplanted the horse and buggy, but do horses and buggies not work? I can go to, the fanciest areas, or on weddings or special occasions, I can get the old horse and buggy and do some kind of wear a top hat and, or go around Central Park in New York and pay big dollars for the handsome cab, the horse and buggy. It still works. And so with less people using the horse and buggies, that would determine the going rate for horse and buggy as opposed to cars, right? So the rates are going to be different. So for radio advertising, for TV advertising, for online advertising, the rates fluctuate with the usage. So ask yourself this question: if you're wondering, does direct mail work? Do people still have a mailbox? Do they check their mail? Do they look at their mail? Because there's basically, if you can remember last time you checked yours, there's almost nothing in it at all. Now, if you've done direct mail, like I have for decades, and you've used direct mail, the game used to be, before the internet came along, like the number one job your direct mail piece had to do was cut through the clutter. Had to break through. People, getting 20 pieces a day of direct mail and sorting them out and throwing them in the garbage, and like, oh, I'm getting overloaded with direct mail. You had to stand out. You had to break through the clutter. Well, your question, just asking, does it still work? Do people still do it? Kind of answers that question right there. There's not a lot of clutter, is there? Not in my mailbox. I get 1 or 2 pieces a day of direct mail, if I'm lucky. Maybe 10 a week, 15 a week max. It used to be 15, 20 a day. So number one, you don't have to cut through the clutter anymore. Anything decent at all is getting attention now. Makes the whole game easier. than ever, which is why direct mail is now easier to make money with than it's ever been. And the people that do it right are making a killing with it, easier than we ever have before. So I asked the question of this person on the phone. I said, like, you scroll through Facebook once in a while, right? Like, what if suddenly there were almost no Facebook ads as you went through the feed? Not only were there almost no Facebook ads, but almost none of the posts were trying to sell you stuff. Or all the people that do a LinkedIn message, hey, thanks for connecting, and immediately start to sell you stuff. Or Facebook. I get a lot of requests on Facebook to connect, and then immediately they want to sell me their stuff. Like, what if all that stopped happening and only once a day did you ever see an ad on Facebook? Or if you were driving down the highway, going from wherever you go to somewhere else an hour away, say you live in the suburbs, you're going into the city for some kind of occasion, as I record this during the Great Shutdown. It's not like you're going in for a game or a concert, but let's just say you're going in for some reason. What if there was only one billboard on the entire hour trip on the highway, as opposed to one after another every tenth of a mile, or however they come, and on both sides of the road, and 2 or 3 at a time, and you got to cut through that clutter? What if there was no clutter and there was only 1 or 2 billboards the whole way in? Pretty sure you got a much better chance of looking at them, reading them, paying attention, which means the person placing them, if they do it right, has a much better chance of making money with it. So less clutter, easier to make money. Everyone knows that's a fact. What if you watched TV shows, and suddenly hour-long TV shows, instead of having 3 minutes of commercials every 10 minutes, they had 1 or 2 commercials the whole time? What if when you went to the movies, if that's still allowed wherever you are, and instead of 10, 15 minutes of trailers before the movie, there was 1 preview, 1 trailer? As you walk through the lobby, instead of dozens of big movie posters and props and, life-size Shreks and Star Wars cutouts and whatever, as you walk through the lobby to get your popcorn and go to your theater, like, there was only 1 of those in the whole theater. There was 1 poster. There was 1 cutout thing. There was 1 trailer, 1 billboard, only 1 Facebook ad a day, only 1 piece of direct mail in your mailbox. You see where I'm getting at? That makes it easier to make a ton of money with it. So hopefully you're doing things right, because if you do Facebook ads or Google AdWords, what if you type something into a search engine like google.com and there were no ads that popped up for searches you did all day long? You did 50 searches, and out of all the 50 searches, there were no ads on 49 of them, and then 1 ad came up on 1 of them. That ad's more likely to get attention than there's no more clutter. There's no more, I'm beating a dead horse here. But when you ask yourself that question and say, man, if suddenly there was only 1 ad a day on Facebook to my marketplace, could I make money with Facebook ads? Be much easier than now, where you got to stand out, you got to cut through the clutter, you got to stop the scroll, you got to have something that'll catch people's attention right away. Direct mail used to be that way. Now with 1 or 2 pieces, you got their attention. You're the only thing in the mailbox. So from now on, you won't be that guy. As I say, don't be that guy that asks the question, does direct mail still work? Like, works better than ever when almost nobody is doing it. So hopefully you either return to it, because it never went away if you just stopped using it, because you got seduced by all the shiny objects. Oh, I got to do MySpace and Facebook and Twitter and Google AdWords, and I got to do this, and banner ads and emails and funnels. I got to do all the latest, greatest. Like, don't forget the main things, the bread and butter, the stuff that works. Direct mail, last I checked, in fact, it's in the news every day now. It didn't go anywhere. Not only did it not go anywhere, it's getting more money thrown at it and more attention paid to it than ever before. Like, take advantage of anything where you see the competition goes away, as long as your target people that you want to do business with you, are paying attention to that way of advertising and marketing. If I'm marketing, I've fallen and I can't get up, button pressing things to seniors, well, I'm not really going to be going on TikTok, am I? But if I am advertising, whatever, right? So direct mail might not be the best choice of what works to people that don't check the mail, like teenagers or even kids now, of course, in their 20s, and unfortunately some in their 30s still living home with mom and dad. More pronounced, of course, by the Great Shutdown, all kinds of job loss and people returning home, but the breadwinner, the homeowner, the rent payer, the checks the mail, person's wide open to getting messages, and if yours is one of the only ones coming at them, it's easier to make money than ever. Okay, that's enough for Direct Mail Monday. It's the end of today. I'll be back again tomorrow. On Topical Tuesday, what's topical? What's in the news these days? All kinds of stuff. I'll pick something and teach a business lesson from it. Hopefully, I'll be back to being able to go live tomorrow. That'll do it for today. Thanks for being here. I'll catch you tomorrow. Over and out. Bye-bye.